إنه إلى ربكم وأسلموا له من قبل أسلموا له يأتيكم العذاب يأتيكم العذاب ثم لا تنصرون إليكم بكم من قبل أن يأتيكم العذاب بغتة وأنتم لا تشعرون. Meaning, the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Say, O my servants who have committed excess against their own souls, despair not of the mercy of Allah. Surely Allah forgives all sins. Verily, He is most forgiving, merciful. And turn ye to your Lord and submit yourselves to Him. Before thee comes unto you the punishments, for then you shall not be helped. And follow the best teaching that has been revealed to you from your Lord, before the punishment comes upon you unawares, while you perceive not. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So the next item is the introduction of guests by Brother Abdul Rafiq Abdul Salam Saab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Dear viewers, you are welcome to the annual conference of the Majid Ansar Sultan Column. Jazakumullah khairan for following us since yesterday. Inshallah, we are going to be starting now, and then my job is just to introduce to us our guests here present with us. And the first person I would like to introduce is the chairman of this occasion, who is the Amir Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Nigeria, Al-Hajj Barrister Abdulaziz Folonshaw Alato Isad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Rahman Abdullah Saab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
Wa alaikum
salam
salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In the entourage of the Amir Saab, we have the Assistant General Secretary, Brother Sadiq Aremu Saab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We also have the honor of having in our presence a past president of the Majid Ansar Sultan Column, who is also an honorary member of MASQ, and person of Al-Hajj Samantha Saab.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Then we have the chairman of Budget and Sultan Column, Malim Abbas Abaji Sab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sab, I think you asked every member here to.
Yes, to introduce, just mention your name and where you are from. So.
Okay, my name is Absalam Abdurrafiq, a member of MASQ. I'm from Moe Babu Circuit.
I don't think missionary, yes, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Sulaiman Taslim. I serve as a missionary at MKA-NIGERIA, Nigeria.
Amir Saab maybe didn't mention that he's the incoming chairman of MASQ Nigeria.
I got to know that confidentially yesterday, even though he's hiding it.
Yes. So you failed to mention it again.
Yes. Next.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm Abdulkadir Olaniraju. I'm from Ibadan.
MashaAllah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Adamus Mohammed from Manata Circuit.
MashaAllah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam
My name is Farouk Oyekunle. I'm here to execute.
MashaAllah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Abdul Basit Odusanya, a missionary in Ojokoro, Jamaat.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Timay Muhammad Al-Fayyad. I'm a missionary serving in Wari Circuit.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Abalaji Abdul Tawab, a missionary about serving Shaki Circuit, Shaki Jamaat.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Munib Ahmad Adiliki. I'm an Hafiz from Ujukos.
MashaAllah. All right. Jazakallah khairan jaza. We have people online. We shouldn't make a mistake of yesterday. Who are the people? Do you have Sadar Saab there? Majlis Udamul Ahmadiyya, Nigeria, both the outgoing and incoming. None of them. Who are the people? Just mention those who are there. Sadar just joined.
Sir, can you say the same to our guest, sir?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected Amisa.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Who are the other people that are there? Please mention them.
Okay, we have Abimbola Amina Abdulrazak. We have Bankoli Abdurrahman. We have Dr. Abayomi Ibrahim. We have Bra Farouk Al-Nouri. We have Habibullah Ololade. We have Malama Sadiq Olamilekon. We have Missionary Abdul Wahab Habibullah. Then we have Tawhid Oladile. We have Yusuf Shobeson. I think those are there presently.
All right. And we have two sisters here, right?
Yes, sir. We have
Can they introduce themselves? They are Jamaat as well, or they are university or wherever they are.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kadri Lawal Zainab from Shomoli Circuit.
Inshallah. Next.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Rakiba Jibo from Ifo Circuit.
Right. Jazakallah khairan jaza. I think everyone have introduced themselves, so Jazakallah khairan jaza. So we go to the next. Sorry. Okay, Missionary Nicola Saab. Oh, sorry for that. Yes. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How many departments? Whether in charge of fees or Wasiat or Ojokoro or his editor.
I serve as an editor for the Muslim.
For MASQ, mashallah. Jazakallah khairan jaza, you are most welcome. All right. So I think now we are trying to catch up with the time, the new time, still to finish within the time originally allocated. So we'll go to the next item, which is the MASQ chairman's welcome address. Malam Abbas Agbaje Sahab. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I don't feel comfortable sitting in front of the respected Amir sir, so let me start.
No, please feel free to sit down. It's in-house meeting.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it's just like Amila meeting. Everybody sit down. Yeah, it's right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على خير الأنام سيد الأنبياء محمد مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى عبده المسيح الموعود وعلى أهله وصحبه وسلم. The Amir Sab, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Nigeria, Alhaji Abdul Aziz Folorunso Alatoye, respected Missionary in Charge Sab, Malvi Adnan Sab, respected Vice Chancellor, Minaret University International, Professor Abdul Rahman Abdullah, respected Missionary Yokola Sab, respected Sadar Majlis Khudam Ahmadiyya, apologies, I just recall that the Sadar is on the call. Respected members of Amila, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Nigeria, respected brothers and sisters here present, members of Majlis Ansar Sultan Kolam, and our honorable guest, and my utmost respect for our former MASQ chairman, in person of Al-Hafiz Yunus Amotayo, and all other invited guests. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We thank Allah for the grace to convene again this year for the writing workshop and annual conference of Majlis Ansar Sultan Al-Qalam. We started with the writing workshop yesterday, and Allah granted us the opportunity to have the presence of the Amir Sab, who give us some highly inspirational words to encourage us to do more on the path of sacrificing our wealth, our knowledge, our strength, our life for the cause of Islam and for spreading the message of the promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam. Through yesterday's program, we had the honor to learn from highly intellectual, brothers who delivered various lectures, including aspects relating to, improving our writings, using of digital tools, developing our abilities to write, very strong arguments in support of the cause of Islam and the teachings of the promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam. And it was really highly impactful to go through these exercises yesterday. Today being the culmination of this year's event, which is our annual conference, we thank Allah for the grace to hold this session as well. And, we've seen a lot of improvement in MASQ activities in recent years as we would present our annual report. In fact, this year, it was more like last year when we had a lot of feedback that perhaps we're not doing enough to get the message of MASQ out to everyone so that more people can participate. And I think the Amir Sahab echoed this sentiment as well yesterday when he told us that we have a lot of work to do in terms of translating some of the books of the Jama in different languages. So we've taken on this challenge based on the guidance and advice we received last year, and we've seen some very, very useful growth in the number of articles that are published by the members of MASQ. In fact, quite recently, we've also taken the step to now connect with Al-Hakam so that we have select articles that are written by members will also be published internationally. So we thank Allah for the progress made thus far, and we see that with the challenge that Amir Sahab gave us yesterday, we have a lot more to do. So we thank the Amir Saab for his excellent support and guidance always, and the Missionary in Charge Saab as well. And we are most grateful for our guest lecturer, Professor Abdullah Abdul Rahman, who is, is a very busy person, but he still gave us his time to give us the lecture today. So we thank you so much, sir. So I want to use this opportunity because my days as the chairman of MASQ is now limited, right? Um, you know, and therefore, I need to thank all the people that have done so well to support the cause of MASQ. Our respected uncle, brother, father, Maulana Yokola Sab has been very, very helpful and supportive over the years. He pays his annual dues, even as an honorary member, right? This is quite encouraging because someone who is a Nasir still supporting the cause of MASQ, which predominantly is peopled by members of Majlis Qudam al-Ahmadiyya. So I want to thank the Sadar Majlis Qudam al-Ahmadiyya. He's been very, very supportive of MASQ cause. The MASQ exists under the auspices of Majlis Qudam al-Ahmadiyya. So the Sadar Sab has been very, very supportive at all times. I want to thank other editors, Al-Hafiz Yunus Sab. We have Barrister Badru Bashir Sab. We have Brother Tawheed Oladele Sab. We have Brother Motiullah, Barrister Motiullah Akisaya Sab. Have I missed out anyone? And our respected brother Ajibade Taufik Sab. Brother Ajibade Taufik, every year he has been giving us some digital tools. And I wish a lot of young people could be part of even yesterday's lecture, because even for me yesterday, I learned about the notebook for Google. You can do a lot of mind mapping through that resource. I have a program next week. When he showed us that yesterday, I quickly put all the topics of the program, did a lot of mind mapping, extracted a lot of information. And this is very useful. And I think those tools, but Ajibade Sab is a very good resource that I think, even for, Minaret University, when people will be learning about digital tools for research, it has some very good idea. And we hope that, subsequent editions, members will participate and benefit from this. You taught us how to use Quillbot, a lot of tools, even last year. So it's been a very good journey, not without challenges, but we thank Allah for His grace. And we look forward to learning a lot from Prof's lecture today, and to also awarding those people who have shown a lot of resilience despite all of the various distractions to keep writing articles for the cause of MASQ. When I saw the numbers that we recorded this year, the previous year we had 18 articles published in the entire year. It was a struggle. That was 2023. Now, 2024, we have 42 articles published. So we saw a bit of growth. Now, for 2025, we've seen the growth up to 72 articles published. And this time, it wasn't only the male. We also have our sisters also publishing articles. So we've seen some growth, and we hope that we'll continue to see this progress in due course. So I want to thank everyone, the planning committee, that is headed by respected incoming Sadar Sab Majlis Qudam al-Ahmadiyya Al-Hafid Abdul Rafiq Al-Kasab, Missionary Abdul Basit Sab, Abdul Qadri, the incoming chairman, Missionary Sulaiman Taslim, Abdul Rafiq, Abdul Farouk, and so many other people that I can't mention. I just want to use this opportunity to thank you all. May Allah continue to support you. As I join the fold of the elders, I trust that you will carry on the banner. And we have the likes of our new Mawvi Abdul Tawab, Mawvi Muhammad Al-Fayyad. All of these will join the ranks of MASQ and continue to push the banner for that. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jaza, our respected Malam Abbas Agbaje Sab, for your coordination of the association. May Allah reward you immensely. So the next item is the opening speech. I think I did one yesterday, which I would adopt for today, including the protocol. So let me just say some few things which will be a response to things that happened yesterday. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna sayyidina Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. The respected missionary in charge, respected Vice Chancellor, the respected chairman, MASQ, and both the outgoing, incoming, our respected Sadar Saab, Majlis Ulamul Ahmadiyya, our respected Mubaligin and missionaries that are here, Hafiz, our respected Lajna members, and all arms of the Jamaat. To all of us, I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank Allah for his blessings, for bringing us here again today. The way I see MASQ is just like MTA. So, and I want us to take it, very seriously like that. Because Almighty Allah told the promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam, that I shall cause thy message to reach all corners of the world. And that is MTA, from him. The second one, Almighty Allah also addressed him as Sultan al-Kalam, the master of pen. So you see why some people are working on MTA, spreading messages all over. Some should also be working, spreading the Sultan al-Kalam. Uzur said something in the last Jasa Salana when we had the Tabligh seminar that we don't fight any physical fight, but you have to fight, you have to challenge people with what they challenge us with. Yes, so it's Jihad Bil Kalam, and that is what the Tabligh, the National Tabligh Secretary of the UK, our brother Ibrahim Saab, he did mention. So we have to write back about all the things they are writing about the Jamaat. And this is the arm of the Jamaat that does that. So that came out, very clearly yesterday, and it's very important for us to know that this is a very important, even though it's starting very small as usual. Everything we do is very small. Even if you look at our Jasa Salana, how many people? 313. They started the Jasa Salana. But today we are talking about 40,000, 36,000 people attending Jasa Salana from 313. So you might be very small in conference today. I'm telling you, as time goes on, everybody will be very interested, in this association. And so we need to keep on putting in more effort there. We mentioned some 3 sets of people that can join yesterday, but we didn't emphasize that. Number one, Uzur directed is a member of Majlis Ulamul Ahmadiyya. We all understand that. And then our honorary, members or voluntary members who want to join, under which, all of us who are interested join. But there was another 3rd group that was mentioned, external people that can also join, not being a member of the Jamaat, but who is a lover of the Jamaat. We need to emphasize this so as to bring in, more people into the association. So I think that is very important. We also yesterday mentioned the issue of subscription, and that strikes my mind. Your subscription is too low. You have fixed 2,000 naira, which you mentioned yesterday. Let me tell you, even if you make it 1,000 naira, those who will not pay will not pay. Those who will pay, and they will even pay more. So I think you need to look at your budget, at least minimally, and fix a reasonable, amount that will be okay, to run the association. I used to believe, maybe you're having the same belief I used to have before, that the Jamaat is not that rich, there is no sufficient fund we are managing. Until some few years ago, I got to Jasa Salana. I don't usually go to car park because I was Naib Jasa officer then. I never had time. Even if I see car, I don't even see it. So the thinking of how are we going to succeed, our things will not break down, water will not break down. So until 1 year, so I was a bit relaxed. And somebody said, let's go to car park. They said there is one thumb there. Let's go and, see how it can be removed so that the tires will not be busted. So as we were going, I started looking at cars. I said, are these cars by Ahmadis or brought by non-Ahmadis? No, they said these are all Ahmadi cars. So I look at it. I said, so how come our Jasa fund is that very small? You know, Ajasa used to be like, 15 million, 18 million naira, and we were struggling. So, you know what the Jasa fund is? It's over 300 million this year. And we are getting it. So, by the special grace of Allah, what we need to preach is to pray that Allah give people faith before He give them money. Because if people have money, there are a lot of people who have money in this Jamaat. Just some few days ago, some people had an issue, and you get to know. In fact, before I finish that story, of the various cars there in the Jamaat, there are some people you ask them, how much did you pay for Jasa Salana? And he will say, yes, he had paid a very, reasonable amount. How much is that? Maybe 2,000 or 5,000 naira he had paid to Jasa Salana. But ask, how much is the value of the car he has brought? As at that time, some are 25 million, 30 million. So it's not as if he doesn't have. You just feel that everybody will eat on their own. What are we doing is just we already have speakers, we already have everything. So he will make that assumption and he will not be paying. So Alhamdulillah, Allah is blessing the Jamaat, blessing individual members of the Jamaat. May Allah continue with that. So I think you need a reasonable subscription to be able to organize, the conferences, and keep on growing the association, because you might have some students who really want to come, but they may not be, you might have issue with transportation. So that's one of the areas we are not doing well at all. And I've, like our Jasa Salana is the same thing, because we don't budget for those who want to attend and who are not able to attend. I remember somebody like me when I was a student, I wanted to come for Jasa Salana in Ilaro from Ibadan here. And I don't have the transportation fare. If you give me the money, even in Ibadan, I will see to eat too, because feeding is number one issue as at that time, So I will go to Kiado. I don't have any money. I'm just waiting for a motor that will be available, and all of us, we will just mount the truck they will put down there, and it will take us to Ilaro. I know some people donated for that. So I need to emphasize the need to, so subscribe, because funding is very important for all our projects. You understand? As we are paying for Tariq Jadid for missionary activities, Wafi Jadid for local missionary activities, it's the same thing, Jasa Salana. So these cannot be done without funding. It can't be done without funding. And I must also recognize the work of Hafiz Yunusab. I think he did one work very recently. I don't know whether he's keeping it confidential or he doesn't want to announce it, but I've already technically announced it. So if you like, you can add to it, or if you like, you can keep it. It's such an excellent work that even outside, people from outside are commenting on the work. This is why I said you need more awareness. Even those articles that were written, not so many of us know of those articles. We don't have, so you should have a way of displaying, like the 142 you said were written. So if there is a banner, for example, we stand the banner here, and then we probably see those headings and the resources where we can have access to them. I always refer people to alislam.org for Uzu's sermon. Always you get it there. So if you also have a database, or if everything has gone to Al-Hakam, so if we can know website, exactly. So we need that website so that in this kind of discussion, we need to let all our members know that website. You understand? So that website, you need to put it like on Amila platform. So you need to tell the office of the GS, put it on Amila platform, put it on Circuit Presidents. We have many platforms. Put it, of course, you Hudam already will have it. I'm not sure how Zarullah have it. So some people are tossed even within Ansarullah, and they don't know that they can even join. So if they know that we have some buckets, that the principal people are the Majlis, and then the second, the voluntary people who want to join, as well as people from outside who are our friends, that can join. So that website is going to be very helpful, so that people will see the work that has been done, to date. My final comment, before we go into the issue really is that please, most of these articles people are writing, I want them to write it in an impactful way, that it will not just only impact on the society, but it will also impact on themselves. Because what I discovered, some few years ago, when we went to visit one professor in Ibadan, I think Vice Chancellor will know the professor very well. And when we went there, I was Naib Amir then, very early, maybe 2013 or there about 2014. And he said, Ahmadiyya, yes, you started a school in Nigeria. You started a Western school in Nigeria. But how many professors do you have today? It's not only one. And that is Professor Abdul Fattah that you have. May his soul rest in peace. So he challenged us. And we said, yes, you have scholars, but they are just at lower level. They are not professors. I said, so anyone that has already gotten masters, I always encourage them to get professor. I always encourage them by all means that you should or must get professor if it's possible. And today, alhamdulillah, most of our members who will have been very comfortable being doctor, now they are professors. When we started the MUI, it was like an inspiration that helped us for MUI. We were already sponsoring, some people to go and obtain doctors and then even professor after that. But by the time we started the MUI, I then discovered we have about 13 professors in Nigeria who are Ahmadis. 13 professors in various universities and various places. I was so happy. And even this month, October ending now, we have 2 additional professors, making 15. So which we are adding onto MUI profile. So these articles you are writing, I know there is a way these articles are written, in journals that would give you an award of doctorate degree, of professorial degree. I don't want those articles to be wasted, because if those articles do not add value to you in terms of recognition, because when people are looking for people, you want to talk somewhere and they know this is this expert in this area, they will respect the Jamaat. We have people, I know we've been going out for some discussions and for some debates, and the moment some people step in there, those who want to debate with each other, they are, but these are our guys you are bringing. So which debate we are doing? We are not doing debate again. No, we can't debate with our boss. Somebody like Professor Timei, for example. I remember he's been to some areas, maybe in Shaki area or in some other areas. We say, Professor, no. We are our guy. This is our boss that you have brought to us. We thought it's just the discussion between low level. Sometimes Professor Abdul Majid, there are some people who are doctors in this and that. The moment they see Dr. Abdul Majid Bello, they say, doctor, an Azhari University doctor for that matter, in Sharia law. So what are we going to be saying? You understand? So this article you are writing, I don't want to forget, and I may not have the opportunity probably of making closing remarks. I want all of you as much as possible, get your master's, get your PhD, get your, professorial award. You are not getting it for yourself. It is service to the Jamaat. And I learned that from our late Maulana Agbola Saab, our former Amir, because some of us, we have a very low way of looking at things, even including me. He raised my profile of looking at things. But I was like, look, even work, what do I work for? One day one will die, whether you eat or you don't eat, you will die off, and so on. He said, no, that's not the right way of doing things. Like accountancy that I was doing, I had diploma, and I wasn't intending to even move forward on that diploma. He said, go and, so I was doing ICANN exam with some other people. It's like, okay, you are explaining ICANN to some other people. So why don't you go and write ICANN? I said, sir, what do I use ICANN for? It's just to get money. I'm okay, even if my pay is very small. He said, okay, go and do it. When you do it, if you don't need it, everything you get from there, bring it to the Jamaat. Then number 2, when you get the ICANN, members will come and be signing, form with you. What am I saying is that I want each person who are experts to really get to the peak of that being expert. In fact, some of you who can be ministers in various areas, commissioners. Commissioner is still at a lower level at the state level. At the federal level, be a minister and even be the head of any institution which you are expert in. Please, I will encourage you that the Jamaat need it if you don't need it. And you have to struggle for it. It doesn't come lightly. There is nothing that comes lightly. So you have to work for it very hard that the Jamaat needs it. In any area that the Jamaat need anything, the moment we have somebody there, then it makes it easier for us, you know. So for those of you who already have the first degree, please make sure you work on writing these articles, because I can see you are writing quality articles. By the time it's getting to Al-Hakam, it will not be published if it is not a standard article. So it might be an article that will be accepted in African journals, will be accepted here and there. You know, these articles, we are writing them and we are packing them. It was when, you know, some of our professors, these recent professors, when we keep on engaging ourselves, they have more article than even they require. Why didn't you submit it to them and get the doctorate degree and get the professorial degree? The Jamaat needs it. The more doctors we have, the better for us. Usul even asked me, how do you want to run the MUI? What manpower resources? I said, Your Holiness, in Nigeria, we have 13 professors now registered on our list. And Usul said, 13 professors doesn't mean probably you might not even need. I don't know, we need Your Holiness, because it's not, you know, even if you are 13, the area of academic is so wide. Yes, yes, lecture there. Usul also said, you want me to come and lecture there. Jazakallah, you know, for that. So, of course, everybody will become a student. You know, so I want to join our respected Vice Chancellor in encouraging everyone, you know, to make sure we get to the best, you know, of our profession in the interest of the Jamaat. You know, even if you feel that no, there is no need to struggle, the Jamaat need all these qualifications and these performance so that we can move forward on that. So once again, I welcome the respected Missionary in charge, respected Naib Amir Finance and Admin. We welcome him and everyone to this meeting. May Almighty Allah bless this second day conference of the MASQ for us. I also welcome all the listeners among us, both those that are here and those that are online. So may Almighty Allah bless you all. Amen. Now. Yes. Uzur mentioned since 2013. Yes. Professor, yes. The public service, yes. Jazakallah khairan, respected in charge for adding that. You see, in 2013, let me see specifically, in this hall, I remember we were sitting down here. In this hall, in 2013, that was the year I became, you know, Naib Amir. That was why I remember very well. So Uzu wrote a letter to the former Amir, Professor Masud Adirele Fashola, Saab, that the Nigerian Ahmadis should make impact in the government by joining the government, you know, in that year. So we came here to sit down and deliberate on how Ahmadis could, you know, make impact in government, and then how our people should join the government. And that still remain, you know, the Jamaat position till today. And, you know, when you are joining the government, if you are very impactful, they will recognize you. You need relevant qualification, you know, to be very, as we stand today, alhamdulillah, if not because of Dr. Isiaq Salako, we probably wouldn't have had any minister. And, you know, if we have some other doctors and professors who we know are also close to the government, if he's a writer, they will have known him. And the government will have picked him, that this writer, no, let's pick him. This one always write for peace. Let's make him minister of, you know, environmental or whatever, you know, for peace to reign and all those kind of things. So please, let us make impact. You know, that is the key word I have used there. Impact is very important. It's in line with the direction of the directive of His Holiness. It's not our own thinking here at all, but we have to enlarge it and let people know that this is something that we must all work on. So may Allah continue to bless each and every one of you. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. All right, barakallahu fi. All right, so now we will respectfully invite our keynote lecturer, who is Professor Abdullah Abdurrahman, the Vice Chancellor, Minaret University, Ikirun, and he's going to be delivering his talk on writing hope in an era of fear, the pen as a beacon of lights. Prof. Sab, Bismillah. You know, for lecturers.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I sincerely appreciate the gesture of the Majlis Ansar Sultan Colon for inviting me to deliver a keynote address. I also want to humbly and sincerely appreciate the presence of the Amir Sahib, the Naib Amir, and the missionary in charge, and other key members of the association are seated today. The topic, writing hope in an era of fear, the pen as a beacon of light. Writing is far more than putting those words on a page of paper. It's an art, a method of communication, and a powerful tool for change. At its core, writing is storytelling, weaving narrative that captivate, educate, and inspire. But it goes beyond mere tales. Writing represents hope, create impact, and manifest dreams. Writing as hope. Hope is the fuel that drives human progress, and writing is often the vessel that carries that hope forward. When we put our thoughts and dreams to paper, we give them tangible form. Ideas that once existed only in our minds now have the potential to reach and inspire others. For many, the act of writing itself is an expression of hope. Authors pour their hearts into manuscripts, hoping to touch lives and leave a lasting legacy. Activists pen manifestos going to write to rally support for their causes. Scientists document their research, open to advance human knowledge. Writing also to readers. Books can be a lifeline for those struggling with adversity, showing them they are not alone and offering guidance. Motivational writing can guide the spark of ambition in those who have lost their way. Even dystopian fiction can offer hope, cautioning us about potential futures we should strive to avoid. In times of darkness, writing has often been a beacon of hope. Think of Heinz Frank's diary, which continues to inspire millions despite the horror it describes. Or consider how banned books have kept hope alive in oppressive regimes. The written word has a unique power to preserve and spread hope, even in the bleakest circumstances. Writing has impact. Few tools have as much potential for impact as writings. A single piece of writing can change minds, spark movements, and alter the course of history. We have seen a lot of, those revolutionary writers. They are able to draw as many followers as possible by their motivational writings that, inspire them to join the struggle. From religious texts to philosophical treatises, from constitutions to revolutionary pamphlets, writing has shaped civilizations. Era of fear. There has never been a time when humans have never been fearful. Distress, failure, disaster, death are never far away. Yet, at certain times, the darkness is greater and the whole world seems closer to hopelessness. While the 20th century began with immense optimism that human progress was inevitable and upbeat utopian philosophies elsewhere, world war, continued conflicts, disasters, philosophies of disintegration and despair, terrorism, breaking down of moral norms and loss of truth have brought us into the 21st century, which lurches in its post-truth and post-stability. The most common response of our generation to the world situation is, we feel so sorry that our grandchildren have to live in this world. So much disturbs us. I remember George McLeod, the founder of the Iona community, once said that so many sermons he had had, 90% about troubles in the world, and only 10% about the solutions. It's still very much the situation we find ourselves today. To the extent that some people, to be able to lower their or maintain their health status, refuse to watch national televisions because you won't get anything positive about news. People watching CNN is about tragedies all over the world. And that is the situation, the scenario that we find ourselves right now, which is the era of fear. We are even aware of the escalating tensions between the world powers, such that people at the helms are not in the fear that what's going to be tomorrow. The most common, and to tell us, for us, the immense task of writing to rekindle hope, meaning that at this point in time, writers has a lot to offer hope to the teeming population. Beyond the specific niche, which is religion that we are, Amisa mentioned that we must make our writings to be impactful to the point that people will see us as ambassador of particular thing. Some, we notice that there are quite a number of newscasters, especially with national and global news outlets. Some are known for its specifics, in a niche. People who are, into, writing about situation of war scenes. People that are specializing their writings in area of, climate change. So we should, just like as academics, I will not just see myself just writing anyhow. The first thing that will appeal to me What is my area of specialization? What was it that I was employed for at the point of engagement by the university? What am I expected to be known for? If I'm going to write now, not less than 90% of my writings as an academic must be able to tailor dovetail towards a specific area of specialization that the university has approved me as a professor. So writing, you must have a niche for yourself and be able to, strengthen your capacity to be known for that. That is specialized writing. And to us for the immense task of writing to rekindle hope. I say immense because compare with the other two big themes, that is faith and love. Hope is the most neglected. And preaching it is complex. No, to preach hope to people in this era, we find ourselves, is cumbersome. But my writings can still achieve that purpose. Why is it complex? Because it involves major unlearning. And that is exactly the essence of this workshop. We have been introduced to many tools through which we can sharpen our skill in writing to achieve the objective of rekindling hope in this period of fear. In times of fear, the Quran and Hadith emphasize maintaining a balance between fear of Allah and hope in His mercy. I'll just use this as a kind of a synopsis. As there's, in His mercy, as these are seen as the two wings of a believer's faith. The Quran reassures believers that hardship is a test and that Allah's mercy is close, while Hadith encourages positive expectations of Allah, even on a deathbed, and highlights supplications, dua, as a powerful tool. Just a synopsis of verses of the Quran that talks about fear as a test. The Quran states, that is chapter 2, verse 155. And we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives. But give good tidings to the patient. Hope and fear together. The Quran mentions that people calling upon their Lord in fear and in hope are praised for this balance, which drives them to good deeds. From the Hadith, we have also some synopsis here. The Holy Prophet said that a dying person who has both hope in Allah and fear of their sins will be granted what they hope for and kept safe what they fear. Those are just, incursion into the holy books of Islam, the Quran and the Hadith. That's in spite of hopelessness, somebody find himself, we can still use it to raise his kind of hope for him not to, be drowned completely in the fear that has, enveloped him. And how do we apply this? Of course, we know that in Islam, we have to constantly recall that Allah is merciful and His mercy is fast. So maintaining fear and hope, do not let one overcome the other. Fear should motivate us, while hope should comfort us. And of course, we are expected to supplicate to Allah, especially in times of distress, asking Him to correct our fears and not to leave it to ourselves. So that's just, anecdote from the Quran and the Hadith of how we can use, we can still raise the hope of individuals in spite of the hopelessness that he or she finds himself. Writing can indeed be a potent tool for spreading hope and positivity, even in the face of fear and adversity. And there are quite a lot of ways this can be achieved, which of course I believe the workshop will have appraised us all about. The power of storytelling, where we share personal experiences and struggle to inspire resilience. Of course, maybe we wanted to, rekindle hope in the community that has been ravaged with flood. No, they may not be able to know what next. But if we can bring up a story of similar incidents that happen somewhere and what becomes there in terms of, betterment of life. Yoruba has a funny way of saying, if they're about to joke, it's actually a way to let them, okay, better days are coming. Don't despair of, these are funny things, ways writers can, invigorate in the community, spreading positivity. We can write flipping articles, blog posts, or social media content where we share stories of hope, resilience, various platforms. You can challenge fear and negativity by addressing difficult topics like anxiety, depression, and social injustice. Of course, somebody who is, rather than getting immersed in allowing the challenges of situation to depress, a writer can just bring up the negative impact of depression. How it's going to damage the whole system, and that could go along. Okay, you mean if I continue dwelling in this, I'm likely not to, these are the negative consequences, and that one could just make that subject to change the situation and for better. So building community, also we can engage with readers through comments, workshop, or writing groups. We can collaborate with fellow writers to amplify diverse voices. Of course, we can form a team among ourselves, okay, and let us see how we can, write from different perspectives to achieve the same goal within the community. And a writer's role is to use your voice to uplift and inspire. Challenge dominant narratives and stereotypes. Of course, we know the challenges of the mainstream Muslims against the Jamaat in terms of negative. It's nothing more about negative narratives they are pouring. And it was intentional. It was so we also need to understand the fact that we need also to be intentional in our writings. I was listening to one of the response of our members on the Facebook. I've forgotten the name of the dictionary. He presented the negative post of a particular adversary, where he talked a lot of rubbish about the Jama, and he said he's going to approach this issue not in a manner to reply this person, but to appeal to a discerning mind who is under the truth, who can discern. And I was taught that this is a very good way. He has actually established that this is not meant to come and engage somebody in a combat. He has said whatever he wants to say, but I will use the Quran and the Hadith strictly to now preach the norm, so that a discerning man, and that's a very, very tactical way to, in the first instance, anybody, am I discerning? Am I not discerning? You have already established the audience, and it goes a long way in a manner not in a manner to engage anybody in any attack or whatever. Very, very humble way to pass your message. And just like the president or the chairman mentioned earlier on, that quite a lot of tools have been displayed, and we have been tutored. Of course, that is the way to it. Just like a mechanic, a modern, for instance now, a mechanic trained 20 years ago that still want to use the same tool that he was trained with will not get anything to do with any vehicle today, because nowadays vehicles does not require such kind of tools that he was trained with. He need to retool and relearn. So if you really want to be relevant The way we are going to be judged is based on the current, circumstances and perspectives that people look at writers. And we also need to strive at, looking at some success. For instance, I want to challenge us. Each time our beloved Uzur, Hadala bin Nasrullah says, come up with a very detailed speech about the situation of the world. Nobody in the audience, even non-Ahmadis, non-Muslims, will not be striking. And the message is going to be very clear. It's very hard for one to be in an audience and possibly, even if the speech is going to be 2 hours, from beginning to end, everybody will stay glued. Because you see the flow. Even some of us will still learn the art of the construction, the way issues are, words are being constructed, even in the speech of those. And it is such that a writer, if you learn how to really make your composition very articulate, and people are used to it, that writer is talking or is writing, let me read. Just like who's not willing to read work of Wole Soyinka? Is it the use of imagery or the metaphor or the simile that will not attract you? And there is no way you will certainly read Wole Soyinka novel and it will not remain in your subconscious. I got to know more of Adaton area of Abeokuta, not because I was there, because I read Ake. The way he described the imagery, so the way he described the whole native environment of Adaton still remain in my subconscious today. And that is exactly the power of words, which of course some of you know showing category for. And we must also, master something. So by wielding their pens as beacon of light, writers can illuminate the path forward, even in darkest times. Jazakumullahu khaira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan jaza. For that very powerful message, Jazakallah khairan jaza. I was to ask, you have soft copy you want to share with people as well?
Yes.
You share it with the chairman. I already have it. Okay. Jazakallah khairan jaza. I think it's a very powerful message which we have. Jazakallah khairan jaza. So I think this is one of the benefits, of this conference. I've been struggling with some of these words. The way I used to look at it is from the Holy Quran that that we will face hardship. That's why I'm never afraid of anything. I'm not expecting something to come in an easy way. So I'm always battle ready for anything. So when Prof now mentioned the issue of, hopelessness and fear, and these are the things that some of us are always looking forward to, what people really want to, create. And as he was talking, I was also looking at it that I can't be a complainant. You are a human being, you are a human being. You want to cheat me, and I'm not going to allow you to cheat me. So those are the spirit that, authors have. So that is what they are going to communicate to other people to help them, especially people who want to have depression. Who is creating the depression? It's another human being that you want to create the depression. It will shut you out of the blessings of Allah. So then you also have to rise up. So it's the spirit of others who rose up and won that you need as at that time. Some people will say because we don't have money, that's why we didn't go to school. Is that true? There are so many people who don't have parents and then they became professor. So go and study their life. It is from the writing of some other people, that we will do. As Prof was talking, something came to my mind that if possible, to get the profile, you know, of those who are professors and those who are doctors, you know, within the Jamaat. So if we can have their profile, you know, it might be very helpful, you know, for incoming generations to see. People who used to think that things are on platter of gold. Nothing is on platter of gold. And even when some of us say some stories, they say, just telling stories. It's not true. It's not true. They don't know that, you know, we face so many challenges. And so if people know, you pass through that. So this mine is not even a challenge, then they will be able to. So I thank Prof. The encouragement on the area of specialization is also very important. That's what I try to say, that if somebody is a specialist in one area, he will be known nationwide, and then the country is definitely going to need him. We should not listen to some discouraging comments. Oh, no, it's those who know that they will fix. You know, there are a whole lot of discouraging comments. Those things, just bypass them and move on. It's not money that is used for everything. Some will say they will not give you contracts if you are not part of them. It's not true. If you have a skill, a person that got the contract want to deliver it will then call you. You don't need to join them in bribery and corruption and all those kind of things. But if they know you, that you will deliver on this job, you are an expert, they will invite you. Say, okay, Prof, we will use your firm to deliver on this project. You tell them, my own money that I'm going to bill you is 5 million. Oh. You say, don't worry, we will pay you. Whether they charge 20 million or they charge 10 million, you know, that's none of your own problem. What you will do, what you will deliver, I have learned that in this country many years ago, when they will say, unless you are corrupt, you will not be able to get to the government. It's not true. In the time of Ukonjo Iweala, with utmost respect, that lady finance woman, she was looking for honest people to run the government. That's how she got another lady, Dora Akuili, to head the health. If they know of any Amadi at that time, they will bring them, all of us, they will bring us into the government. But because, you know, we push the government away, we stay aside as if we are not part of the government. That's why. So let us acquire this thing, just as Prof had said, you know, it is very important that you get to the peak of your specialization. The country will definitely need you. There is no two ways about it. So may Almighty Allah bless this discussion for us. So I think now is question and answers from the audience and comments. We have to 12:40. I think we have about 15 minutes, you know, for comments. You know, and Nafasa, Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Respected Abu Sahib, in charge, gentlemen and ladies. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Once again, I want to appreciate and thank the organizers of this program. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to support you, continue to be your helper in your activities. I thank Prof for the powerful speech that he has given now. Amir has emphasized about our message, our writing to be impactful. And this which Dr. Prof also talked about, this is very, very, very important. If our writing is not impactful, then we wouldn't have achieved anything. I give an example of a book I read some time ago, you know, that I didn't drop it until I finished reading it. The book is, it was written by a Christian, Norman Vincent Peale, published in 1952, Power of Positive Thinking. It changed my life completely, because whoever see the way I behave now will just be wondering that if the man said he has changed, then I can imagine how he used to be, because I would be too fury, be shouting, it just changed me completely. I also read Condition of Bias. I have read Condition of Bias many times. And I just concluded with myself that I don't even need anybody to preach to me. This Condition of Bias alone is enough for me to answer whether I'm an Ahmadi or I'm not an Ahmadi. Right. So, and that is the impact of the message of that book. So I want to appeal to you all that you take that as a very good reason why you are writing. That whatever you are writing about must be impactful. This is very, 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 very key. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, assist you.
Barakallah fi jazakallah khairan jaza for that respected Nafasab. Yes. So next comment, please, online. Please check the people online and let me know. Oh yeah, Sadar Majlis Udamul Ahmadiyya, Nigeria, please make your comments.
All right, so Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Jazakumullah khairan, sir. Respected Amir Sahab, respected MIC Sahab, respected Nafa Sahab, and fathers and my colleagues over there. The few comments I want to make in respect to what respected Prof Sahab has delivered, a very fantastic speech by the respected Prof Sahab. May Allah continue to increase our Prof in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and every one of us. Is that sequel to what I mentioned yesterday, in tandem with what respected Amisa gave us in the introduction yesterday and even today, which he re-echoed, it actually shows that there is need for us to ensure that there is a lot of hope in writing. And then just last weekend, when we concluded the Majishura of Majishura Nigeria, I was also encouraging members of Kudam to engage in writing. And part of what is essential is that when we look at the review of religion, it was at the time when we were discussing about the importance of subscribing to review of religion and even reading the editions, as they are being printed on a monthly basis. I recall that the Ahmadiyya community was brought to Nigeria through review of religion. And that actually shows that somebody was inspired by the writing therein in the review of religion. So which actually means that if somebody was not there writing, then there is nothing for anyone to read. And it actually also reflects that the Prophet Salam as Sultan of Qalam, who actually established the review of religion in his life, actually shows that there is power in writing. So the expectation as Masih Maud alayhi salam wanted to achieve in terms of spreading the message of Islam and the message of the Ahmadiyya was actually achieved in Nigeria as an example. Since 1902, the review of religion was established. So, and I've seen a couple of times that, alhamdulillah, from Majasa Sultan Qalam, we have scholars who have written and have their writings published in Al-Hakam, in Review of Religion, and so many other international publications like that. So it is to ensure that we essentially take writing very seriously and ensure that all that we are going to write will reflect the true teachings of Islam as exemplified by the Prophet Muhammad sallam and taught by the Promised Messiah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to make this session a beneficial one. Jazakumullah khair, respected Mr. for the opportunity. Assalamu alaikum to Allah ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jaza for that comment, respected Sadar Majlis Udamul Ahmadiyya, Nigeria. So any other people online? Any other people there? All right. If there is none, so here, any comments? Avisa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, respected the Amir Said, Jazakallah khair for giving this opportunity.
Okay.
And I also felicitate with the members of MASQ, Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria, for this great occasion of the annual conference. And it has been so great experience here since yesterday. A lot have been said and also learned. I pray Allah the Almighty continue to strengthen the organization. One very key, something I think I should note here is that maybe not many people are aware that Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria, that is MASQ, outside it is known as Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria, but inside it is Majlis Ansar Sultan Qalam. Even as by the constitution of the organization, it is also stated as such. But firstly, this organization has been registered officially in Nigeria, has been registered under Corporate Affairs Commission since 2017. And that was the same year we also launched the MASQ also launched its a website. And so that means already we are in the mainstream of Nigerian society, recognized by the government. And so, and I recall that when my humble self was still serving as the national chairman of this organization, as a journalist, I shared some of our programs and also publications with some fellow journalists, and they were, especially the Muslim journalists, they were so amazed and they expressed a desire. I think they even sent emails to us applying for membership to become a member of MASQ. And that was a challenge there because it is, in some sense, it is within the Jamaat that is being run. And as per the constitution, you have to be under Majlis Khudam Ahmadiyya, Nigeria, for example, to be a member. When you have gone above Majlis, you can be taken as honorary member. So these are mainstream journalists, but they are Muslims and they wanted to join. So there were some issues there. And the second thing, it was even some women, some ladies, Muslims, even non-Ahmadi Muslims, they wanted to join, and they're also journalists because they look at it, especially in 2017 when the issue in Kano State, when somebody was, the courts sentenced him to death for blasphemy, and MASQ Nigeria organized a seminar then on blasphemy, and a lot of people came out to say, where has this organization been in Nigeria before? Because that's and that name of the organization, Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria, it is inclusive in the sense that it is not just Ahmadi Muslim. So many people wanted to even join, and so that is just to let us know that we are carrying a name that is this universal or national in its scope, not even so the impact has to be felt. We have to join conversations on issues that are going on in Nigeria, for example, so that we can be recognized. We want to look forward to when there are some issues going on in Nigeria, and some media houses, for example, the Nigeria Television Authority channels or TVC News, they want to get Islamic perspective from Muslim bodies, organizations. MASQ, Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria, should be recognized, should be invited. And in such platforms, when we explain our stand, our position, and which of course will be based on Ahmadiyya positions, on Islamic positions on those issues, then we would have conveyed a lot of messages to the outside world. So that is why I feel that we need to do more in this respect, especially the members of Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria. We have to continue to write, and we should write on topic issues of relevance, of national importance, so that people can feel our impact. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, the Jamaat members in Uganda, they want to establish this same Muslim Writers Guild of Uganda, and they sent their Sadar there sent a message to me that I should advise on that. So it's spreading. As that Khalifa to Masjid, the fifth Ayadahullah Ta'ala bin Aziz, particularly instructed that all countries of the world where the Jamaat has been established, they should have Muslim Majlis and Sultan Qalam established. This organization should become functional in such countries. That was in 2011 or 2012, and that was what led to its establishment across the world. The US, Germany, UK, they are leading, and most importantly, the US, and that is somehow where as Khalifa Masih Ayadollah Ta'ala bin Aziz has recognized the US as the international headquarters of Muslim Writers Guild. And so the Muslim Writers Guild of America was leading. I use words because now it seems Nigeria has even overtaken US in terms of publications. They established their website, and there are a whole lot of articles they published there. In fact, the constitution of Muslim Writers Guild of America was adopted by Nigeria 2015. And so they were late, but now I can say that perhaps Nigeria chapter of this has overtaken them, and because we have been registered by the government. So a lot. In Ghana, they are also coming up, but they are still far behind. They also sought advice in some areas as well from us. So, but we here in Nigeria, I think we still need to do more. But last year we spoke about the fund subscription that was too low. I'm so extremely grateful that Hamid Sahib has mentioned this, because if in a year we are subscribing less than, I don't want to mention the naira, but let us say less than $2 per year. So you can see it's so insignificant, and an organization that is government registered and also running a website. And so I don't think that is sustainable. So I think we should review this, and the membership also should be active in financially towards the progress of the organization. I think I'm not speaking for MASQ, but I want to humbly appeal to our elders as well that they should support this organization in terms of financial capacity, so that a lot of publications and other things can be done. So it is my pleasure that I'm given this opportunity to speak, to make this comment. I pray Allah the Almighty continue to strengthen us, and also bless every effort we are making in this respect. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jaza, respected Hafiz Yunusab, and for the additional information you have provided, especially as to the incorporation with the Corporate Affairs Commission. So we'll discuss more about that, and the GS office need to ensure that all our incorporated entities, we fully comply with the CAC procedures as the rule are changing. We are complying and we are filing correctly. So we need to look into that. So the chairman, you need to look into that we file our annual returns exactly, and we are renewing annually all we need to do. The same thing with other registered, like Humanity First is also incorporated, so with CAC, because the Jamaat is very compliant with the national laws and all the state laws where we are resident. So I think that's a very good information. Jazakallah khairan jaza. So yeah, more comments in charge, sir. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Respected Rafa Sahib and all my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In the name of this Majlis Ansar Sultanul Qalam. That means that you are the helper of Sultanul Qalam. Who was Sultanul Qalam? Sayyidina Hazrat Aqdas Masih Maud alayhi salatu wasalam. And why this title was given to him? When in India, we can say India was Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, everything was together at that time. There was a serious attack by Christian clerics on Islam. On one hand, other hand, Hindus were also attacking, Buddha were also attacking, and the Muslim was running in front of them. That was the time Allah the Almighty sent his Imam of the age in that area. And the first book he wrote, Brahini Ahmadiyya, with the 5 volumes, with 300 arguments, which has never been counted till today for the victory of Islam and the other religions. And after that, there was a long sequence of writing books, up to 84 books he wrote. And this title was then given that you are Sultanul Qalam. And this Sultanul Qalam is connected with the other very important, which Amir Saab was when he was speaking, that is Jihad bil Qalam also. They are connected with each other, seriously. And Hazur said at that time that this is the age of jihad, but not with sword, with pen. So I believe that, in Holy Quran, the first Messiah, when they stood up, his disciples said, Nahnu Ansarullah, that we are helper of Allah the Almighty. We also have one organization, Ansarullah, but this is also Ansar Majlis, Majlis Ansar Sultanul Qalam, means that you are also helper of Imam of the age in another aspect. And that is a great blessing. And I would like to request you that anybody who writes any article, when he is researching for that one, he should try his best to go back to the writing of Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salatu wasalam, if he wants his writing to be the perfect writing on any topic of the any topic you are addressing to. Secondly, here in Nigeria, I will request, this is my humble suggestion, that the book Hakikatul Wahi, I think you should target that book here. It is having 400 plus or 500, 400 plus signs and incident of Prophet Islam related to Allah the Almighty, where he has proved that way he has been connected to and where Allah the Almighty has assisted him. And that book, where he actually wanted to let us know what is the reality of Wahi, that is revelation from Allah the Almighty. Then he has described many incidents of his life there. I think in like our Truth, which we print here, an article should, a series of articles start to increase the faith of people. When they read it, it will bring the new faith in their mind and in their hearts also. Yes, my mother. So these, and there's a book, Mirkatul Yaqeen fi Hayat Nuruddin. This type of book that is also very much related to the book of Hakikatul Wahi. Okay, and he has described his incident of his belief in Allah the Almighty and where Allah the Almighty has assisted him in all the Awqayyat. So I think if the translation is not available for Mirkatul Yaqeen, I think Hakikatul Wahi has been translated according to best of my knowledge. It is available on Al Islam. Now it depends upon the writer that how he picks and how he starts the series of this writing. Likewise, if Mirkatul Yaqeen, I don't know it has been translated or not. Yes, otherwise we can sit and we can be translating it, and that can be now converted in a good writer can now convert in a good, just to boost the faith of our people here in Nigeria. As far as the international like Al Hakam and Review of Religion is concerned, that is a different standard. You can go according to the standard they want from you. But for writing has so many dimensions. You have to look your local, and even if you go out of this environment, go to the Eastern environment, your literature will change. You cannot go and tell them first to become Ahmadi. You have to first preach what is Islam. Here, and when you go to North, you cannot, you have to tell them about the Jamaat because they're already Muslims. So kindly, that means within a country, we have different dimension of articles. As far as it becomes international, it becomes totally different. So I would request that at least if these 2 books can be targeted and a series of articles can start in Truth, I hope that it will be very helpful for our readers here in Nigeria, and I hope it will create interest when they will read these incidents, very inspiring incidents of course, it will change their life also, and even you will see the truth will also get to the higher level, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jaza, respected missionary in charge, sir, for those guidance to make our writings very authoritative. If we follow that advice, book, one of the fears of not writing for some of us was not to write a book that people will say, what your book has he written? He's putting some of his own idea together. So we keep on accumulating knowledge every day about how to write. Because at the end of the day, some of us, we started as a professional. I've repeated it a number of times. I want to end up as an academics, but I want to gather experience a lot before, writing, so that people will not, so, people will just write your book. They used to say they tear the book like this, they will just throw it away. So that's an authoritative source of writing, so that our writing is going to be sustainable at all time, even in future. They will find out that what you have written about is not something that they can discard. There are some situational writings like that, that pass away with time, but those are like annual laws. Those annual amendments and all the rest, those are the things like the annual budget. You want to write about it. This year's last year budget is different from this year's budget. So those ones are different things. But if you are writing about an ideology, which Prof mentioned, that is going to be sustainable for you to overcome fear, that people will be reading about those books, then you need to check all those authoritative sources, deeply rooted in the Holy Quran, rooted in the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet, then rooted in the writings of the promised Messiah, alayhi salatu wasalam, and the pronouncement of the Khulafa with appropriate reference, that people will know that, look, this is an authoritative book. I think it's going to be very helpful, just as the respected missionary in charge, sir, has said. So Jazakallah khairan jaza for that guidance, respected in charge, sir. Missionary sir, yes, Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Respected Amir Sab and elders, Jazakumullah khairan. I like to employ a constant statement of the respected Amir Sab. It has also mentioned it here, and that is, get to the top of your skills or your profession. If you don't need that, the Jamaats need it. Based on this, I want to refer us to the third item that we have highlighted for this conference, and that is translation skills. The Jamaat continues to progress, spreading the works of Hazrat Muhammad alayhi salam and those of the Khulafa across cultures and languages. And the only tool that can assist in this is through translation. And when the respected missionary in charge was referring to the name of this association is Majlis Ansar Sultan al-Qalam. And these are helpers of the promised Messiah alayhi salam, who has been designated to be Sultan al-Qalam for the entire universe. So on this, since we have taken these translation skills as part of our mandate in the Majlis, I want to request, and based on the noble statement of the respected Amir Saab, that taking some courses in translation, professional courses in translation skills, would be of great help, because it goes beyond, I know how to speak Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, then I also speak English. It's a whole skill and art. It's a field on its own. In the past, when this issues like this are raised, we'll first of all think of, well, what is the prospect, economic prospect of this going to the university to study Yoruba language? What is the prospect? Going to English, yes, somebody can vie into journalism, becoming a teacher or even a lecturer, but Yoruba, that quickly comes to the mind. Yes, but when a humble one like me, when I had the opportunity of, attending a university, I saw that even some retirees, they register for courses in Yoruba. They are on their own, even some obas. While I was going out of the first degree, while I was doing my master's, there's an oba who is currently one of the obas of Ibogun land around Ifo. He was just entering for first year. It's an oba in his own area. So if we are on our own, we are professionals, that we are accountants, we are lawyers, we are this and that, already earning something that is already sustaining us. We can, because of the Jamaat, because currently I can boldly say that we do not have dedicated translators as expected by markers in Nigeria. We do not have. And what reports continue to be requested, to be required from the Jamaat. So the Majlis Sultan al-Qalam should please think out of box. Some of us who are already on our own, we can. I remember respected Amisa, Allah had already blessed him before he said, yes, I want to go and read law. And he added, with the grace of Allah the Almighty, he added that to what he already had as blessings from Allah the Almighty. So taking on some of the courses that can assist us to further assist the Jamaat in all these areas will not be out of it. So I want to request us that since that is part of our mandate, we should think further on how to acquire more skills in this regard. So it's very important. Without becoming a professional in these areas, there's little or nothing we can do, because Jamaat also has the system of translation. If we review many books that have been translated before now, and the current one we have, we see that there is huge of difference. For example, the essence of Islam. If we juxtapose the one translated by Sasabla Khan Saab and the editions we have now, we see that the conch English of those days were used by Sasabla Khan Saab, which generations of today might find challenging to comprehend. But those ones we have today, we have a whole lot of regular teams in the UK, in the US, who are doing this work for the Jamaat. So we also need this to localize and employ this kind of things. So Jazakumullah khairan, respected and Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jaza for that comment. So just to summarize that to the chairman of the association. So I think you need to, like the experts, probably you need to have, as the Senior Tijarat has divided, its activities into 6 of economic group, the youths, in terms of those who are employed, those who are unemployed, those who are employed, how do they get gainful employment? Those who are unemployed, how do they get into employment? So they are thinking about each of those buckets. Those who are retired, you don't say you are retired and we are not useful. KFC started at the age of 77 and he became billionaire in the age of 81. So maybe 3 or 5 years later. So that is what they are working on within the Jamaat. That is the economic system. So like this writing now, you already have experts inside, just as Prof had said. You have to be an expert in your area. If you are not an expert, this world is no longer of generalists. A generalist just have an idea. The issue of multidisciplinary skill is only useful in some environments. It's not in academics. And even if you write as a generalist, it's just for people to pick a general idea, you know, like a motivational speaker or talk. So this expertise, you know, is very important. That's what he had spoken to. But then also the translation skill now as part of the expertise skill. In Nigeria now, we're having problem. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Even Yoruba, the two people that are supposed to be doing Yoruba for us, they are also doing some other jobs. Day before yesterday on Friday, the Shire secretary came to me in my office here and he said, Amir, please, we have to, you know, withdraw these two people. I said, go and discuss with missionary in charge. If he release them to you, then he will replace them. Then that's when I can then say it's approved. But if he has not released, that was the day before yesterday, I said I cannot remove them because where they are also working, it's been a very serious challenge. So it's only, you know, these people, and we also have some other people who hear Yoruba, but we cannot say they should translate this. He came with two books to me. One of them is Philosophy of the Teaching of Islam that was translated in 1981. In 1981, you know, when our fathers, you know, translated it into the Yoruba, it's just for us to read and understand. But the science of Yoruba that was there is none of our business. It's just that we understand that this is the philosophy of the teaching of Islam. But today, we cannot present it to a Yoruba speaking people or experts. When they see it, they will say, what is in here? So we are looking for our own experts to give them the original text, you know, in English, and then translate it into Yoruba. So there is a gap there that we don't have people who can do this work for us. And that is why we are seriously slowing down in responding to Americans. Every time they will say, you know, one they give us since Maulana Muniruddin Shamsab came to Nigeria, this world crisis and pathway to peace. I think now we've gotten to almost 90%. They are leaving other job to create some time to interpret. They will stop. They will go back again. And whereas we have experts, we should have experts that we will give to, you know, maybe it's a doctor in Yoruba or whatever. So we'll give this and say, interpret this material for us. And he will be able to do it. So that is why I'm saying that, and it's not only Yoruba, it's the same thing Hausa, it's the same thing Igbo, it's the same thing Etsako language, even as most important as the Holy Quran. We don't have manpower resources to really translate those things and get back to Americans very, you know, very quickly. So, I mean, all of them is what we have discussed, which is what he had said. So please, and it's not only in this area, there are some other areas as well that you have identified that I want us to work on. So as it stands now, we are having very serious challenge there. So this is also going to be a motivation for those who are reading. So, and that is the reason the Jamaat used to send people to university in those days. You know, there used to be an issue where they send somebody and somebody will go on his own. Somebody who goes on his own probably is not what the Jamaat needs. Those who Jamaat needs, like who are journalists who speak, you know, Yoruba, Hausa, you know, sponsor them to Madam Fudio University, sponsor them to UI, because these are the areas we can get what we need, not what you need. If you go to university to read some other things that the Jamaat doesn't need, yes, it's okay. You'll be contributing to knowledge in your own area. But if the Jamaat does not need for its own work, it will not be useful, especially for somebody who is a missionary. But somebody who is not a missionary can read physics and they can become just like Professor Abdusalam, you know, that became Nobel laureate worldwide. We need people like that as well in all courses, without exception, you know. So it's only missionaries that we need them more on certain areas that the Jamaat need. So I want you to work on that area. Those who specialize, you know, in various areas, you need to work on that. And those who will work on translation, especially those 4 languages that I've mentioned, because it's Nigeria they will turn to. They shouldn't turn to AI and then use AI to translate in UK, because AI can do things online. But Uzura had said, leave AI alone from this one, because it's just going to translate whatever it likes. Again, as we move on, even the one we are translating this year now, the one we are doing now, that we are thinking is the best. I can tell you in the next 10 years, it may not be so. Because I can see those who are studying Yoruba, for example, the argument is still going to come. Which Yoruba is this book you are giving us? So you have to clarify it. Is this Yoruba or is this Yoruba Egba, or is this Yoruba Osun, or is this Yoruba Ondo? Which Yoruba is this one? We will still get there. But at least for now, we have one standard, standard Yoruba that we are using. But I know that standard Yoruba, people will still challenge. Who said the standard? Are they the leader? Is it Oyo or is it Ife? Now you can see it on social media. Who is the leader? No. We don't take your own, as the leader. But let us use the current standard. That's why I said in our translation, we have to be reviewing things. We have to be updating it, from time to time. And there is no time knowledge is going to be wasteful. No. It's not. When we look back now, we thank our father who translated a lot of things into Yoruba. Because if they had not translated it, we wouldn't have even understood anything. So, but now, alhamdulillah, we've already have the standard raised up now. So we should also move to that standard. We shouldn't allow the standard to move further. Then we are now catching up with the standard that people are living, because that sometimes happens in Nigeria. So, Jazakallah and Jazak respected missionary sir, for that. So I think you also need to work more. Maybe the chairman is aware of the challenge the Jamaat is having. We have now, we have TASNIF office here, which is translation office, has to do with the books of the Jamaat. But then we need experts. And we also need experts in Urdu directly to Yoruba. Some of our young Malvis. So you need to know that also. Direct, from Urdu to Yoruba, Urdu to Hausa, Urdu to, these, and Urdu to English. Of course, sorry? That's the best way of translation, because it's a secondary level of translation that somebody translated to English, now you are translating to Yoruba. No. It's just because that is what we have. Those people who can speak Urdu here, most cannot speak Yoruba. And those who understand Urdu and understand Yoruba, it's just the Yoruba that they can speak. It's not a Yoruba that they can write. That was why I said it yesterday. This language issue has to do with 4 parts. Understanding something is one, speaking it is another one, writing it is another one, reading it is another one. So the fact that you can speak does not mean you can write, scientifically. You just be writing what comes to your mind, which may not be right. So there is a whole lot of work, I think, the chairman, current successive chairman of Sultan Okolam needs to do, Yes, Urdu to Yoruba. Some of our young movies now need to start looking at it. Yes. 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 Yes, you will have lost meaning.
Change slightly,
Mhm.
understanding something, especially the expressions wherever they are used.
Exactly. When people who understand Urdu and who also understand Yoruba read some of our translation, they'll say, no, that's not exactly what the Promise Messiah said. No, that's not. Not knowing that Yoruba was translated from English.
And all of
So,
them have been translated like that.
No, all our books are translated from English. We have few Urdu speaking people here, and probably they are not Yoruba writers or authors. They are Yoruba speakers, but they have not sat down.
One of them, very the Urdu also.
Mhm.
But
Yes. So I think we are trying to, just as Prof did mention something very important, you know, people analyze challenges and find solution to it. And that should be our approach. Yes. So once we identify, we know, we can see why we are discussing this is not to emphasize on those challenges, but to see those challenges as opportunities. For us to know that we have endless opportunities. I do say that I don't know why people start gossiping on something negative. The one that is positive, we've not been able to do it up to any extent. We've not been able to. It's a bloody waste of time, you know, focusing on negativity. When even the positivities that we are analyzing now, how much have we achieved? We are like at ground zero for a lot of them. Even Yoruba language, we are on ground zero. We don't have philosophy of teaching of Islam in Yoruba. We don't have Quran in Yoruba. We don't have war crisis and pathway to peace. We don't even have any book at all in the current standard Yoruba. Do we have anyone? No. The respected missionaries have a missionary nephews have. The two of them, they just started interpreting them. And we've not finished. And somebody will tell me he's quarreling. Quarreling, go to Islamic committee. I don't have time for you. We have a lot of job to do here. Yes, MMC2, sir. He is the one that warehouse all the challenges of the, you know, negativities. We should move away, please. Tell anyone that is quarreling that ECOSA is not interested in quarreling. What we are interested in is progress, how we will move from the level where we are. So as we are talking about writing, we're also talking about speaking as well. You know, speaking is another challenge, you know, that we have, you know, especially on social media, on even public speaking, you know, on lecturing as well, you know, teaching people in both in the mosque and in various areas. So all those challenges are there. But the one I want you to focus on significantly, your own is writing, you know, mostly. So, and it will be very, very helpful. There is something that I think you should also be thinking of writing on. Sometimes when we do something, we don't value it ourselves because we are not arrogating anything to ourselves. We believe Allah is the one that will reward anyone. If you see what is going on in the university now, somebody might really want to write about the chronological order of the Muslim Student Association in Nigeria. Because, you know, Ahmadiyya was the first to start a sectorial association within the MSS. But now, there have been some other sectorial sects in the universities that they are quarreling with themselves. I don't know whether you are aware, you know. Yeah, exactly. I raised that sometimes around 1982, you know, when I was 1991, 92, when I was serving. I said, look, this is an association. It's not about any Toriko. Because when we will have our discussions and our meeting together, you know, immediately we finish with the meeting, they want to do a general prayer. I will just step aside and go to the hostel, and then I go and pray. Someone, they've been studying it, and they challenged me. So I said, yes, this is a Muslim association. So, but our Toriko are different. So I won't be struggling with whoever is the president or whoever is this and that. So, but when it comes to spiritual aspects, we are different in only one major thing. So it's the same thing that is coming up now. If they don't agree, that time they will agree now. So, you know, we have AMSA, and then AMSA was the first in the campus that you say, some people will think, so why can't we go with the MSS? Now the Salafis are thinking they are the owner of MSS. They are not. In fact, they will be the last that is going to register if care is not taken. The first year will be the last. Because MSS is a combination of all Muslims. So there is no one who can claim MSS. Ahmadi was the first one that registered AMSA. And we got approval in most of the universities, if not all. You know, for now, he's been AMSA president before. So we go and look at the year that we registered AMSA, there was no other sectorial one. So now Tijaniya have registered because the Salafis are not allowing them. The Qadriya have registered because the Salafis are not allowing them. And Salafis are the one now leading MSS, and they are calling it MSS. And people are saying, no, there is nothing like MSS any longer. So this is an area that you authors need to start putting materials together, you know, based on the current information which we are going to, because some other associations are going to join. The Shias are looking at it that no, we have to take a lead. The Sunnis, who are who are Salafis, are saying, no, because they are going to be the president. They are now trying to strategically position themselves. So now, AMSA was the first one on campus. We will still come to the umbrella that, look, we are only MSS in terms of being a Muslim. And the 11 things that joins us together still continue to join all of us together. The only thing that, create differences between us, is about the advent of the Promised Messiah. That's the only, all of them put together. You might have different Toriko among all others, but that is the only distinctive for key point. Is either you obey and you follow him, or you don't obey and you don't follow him. You understand? So this is something that you authors need to start looking into. But I know is the school that we normally mention. Yes, the Jamaat started the school, but we've not been mentioning, the issue of starting even the faith aspect of each student on campus. So, and that is what everyone will do at the end of the day, because they will not have any choice. They will never be able to agree. At least almost about 5 different other associations now. Timsan is for the Tijaniya, Komsan is for the Qadriya. You have the Salafi who are claiming to be the leaders there. And then you also have the Shias, because the Shias will never agree with the Sunnis. So on campus, each association have to register. If you still want everyone to register as MSS, it will not be more than having a meeting on a conference sitting. It's not as far as prayer is concerned, because a Shia will never follow any Sunni. And Sunni also will not follow the Shias. And so it's not going to, so at the end of the day, the Jamaat is going to still be the leader in that area, who had said, look, this is an administrative body. It's not a spiritual body. It's for the administration for the university. But each person should be praying their own way. They should be delivering lectures in their own way. Because a Sunni cannot deliver a lecture attacking the Shias and you say you are in the same association. It's not going to work. The Salafi believe that this Toriko, even including the Jamaat, according to them, in their own belief, should not take any lead as far as Islam is concerned, even if they recognize that you are a Muslim, So these are areas that you authors need to, put something together to curtail a potential fire explosion. Because there must be a knowledge-driven that, look, we don't need to fight ourselves. We don't need to quarrel ourselves. This is what has happened, and this is what is going to happen, and we don't need to quarrel about it. It doesn't need to get to any attack, violence. We must realize that this is what it is. So as I said, there are so many jobs that this association has. The last thing I want to talk about is the publicity. I don't know whether there are some other comments before we round up, because I'm looking at the time that you are running up by 1:30. Yes. Yes, we have presentation of award and certificate. Okay. So yeah, we will do that. Before I forget, that is your publication also need to be stepped up. Like this banner, for example, I think should be snapped and it should have been shared. like almost 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks, or even a month ago, you know, so that some other people will be able to join online. Because the information we are sharing here, there are a lot of people who are very interested. At least most missionaries will be very interested in this. Most missionaries will be very interested. So like this banner, if you do it next time like that, let's say send it to the GS. So GS is going to put it on our platform. So everybody is going to be aware. And all these discussions, you know, you will get a lot of volunteer who are going to be very happy to join. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
I am not aware.
No, if not for special invitation, I will not be aware. I will not even be aware. Yes. Yes. No, yeah, yes. You always need to give it to the GS to circulate so that it can. So many people you will have seen, almost 500 you have there or more, you know, that will join, or at least let's say 200 if you don't know, because people might really want to group together. So, all right.
We had Michelle Palasa, you know, he took a session on teaching people on translation skills. So maybe based on what you've said now, I will try and organize, you know, future trainings to focus on that.
Please. Jazakallah khairan jazak. So I think now we need to move fast. Jazakallah khairan jazak. So we come to the end of the comments and the guest remark. I think we've taken those two together. So the last will be presentation of awards and certificates and merchandise. So MASQ chairman. Yeah. Oh, yes, yes, please. Oh, me, I've gone to page 2.
Okay, sir.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have the annual report. It's the same time as last secretary, and then we go to the presentation of award. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan, Amir Saab. So we want to quickly present the annual report of the year 2024-2025 for Majlis Ansar Sultan of Qalam. So I will move a bit fast since we don't have much time. This is just telling a brief introduction of who we are. So some of the key activities that we did during the course of the year. We had a writing seminar where we invited erudite scholars to teach people about writing. And we had, I think we had the honor of Professor Said Olurutimi and other scholars. Then we also had a writing workshop where we had, because we have our writers, some are interested in writing prose, some are interested in writing poems. So we wanted to give them people opportunity to express themselves in different forms. And then, you know, we are holding our annual conference, and we also had some Twitter space engagement where we discussed the issue of murder in the name of Allah, looking at why we misinterpret some of the verses of the Quran to mean that, you know, people or events during the course of the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu to mean that people can be killed because they are apostate or they do certain things that we deemed against the teachings of the Holy Quran. So we're looking, we did a part 1 on the Twitter space, but we even have guests invited from outside the Jamaat. We're looking to continue this in future, inshallah. So overall, in terms of publication, we've seen some decent growth. In 2023, we had just 18 publications all through the year. MASQ, of course, we have very strict, you know, criteria. The likes of respected Al-Hafiz Yunus Sab, Yokala Sab, they are editors. So we have very stringent requirement to review articles written so that we publish articles that are standard. So sometimes it means that even though we have a lot of submissions, we only publish those articles that meet the criteria. So in 2023, we had 18 articles published all through the year. And alhamdulillah, in 2024, that moved you know, to 23 for 42 articles. And in the current year, we have 73 publications all through. In fact, in terms of the publication, we have, even though most members of MASQ, led the publication, but we have almost equal number of people who are guest writers. So which, shows a lot of continuous interest from people even outside MASQ membership. And, a total of 11 guests wrote 39 articles out of these 73 articles. And this consists of 6 female and 5 males. So these are not regular members of MASQ, but they are people who are interested in MASQ activities and they've been contributing. In fact, this year represents a very interesting one because a lot of ladies folk show more interest in MASQ and they are writing articles published on MASQ website. So our digital presence, we've taken your advice, Amir Saab. We will continue to work on publicity. But our modest digital presence indicate that on Facebook, where we have a lot of followers, we have almost 10,000 followers, 9,500 followers on Facebook. On Twitter, we have just a very modest 91 followers, and we take the comment of our brother online regarding our Twitter presence. So we are working on this. So all of us who have Twitter profile, please go ahead and follow MASQ on your Twitter. We will share all of these, social media pages on the chat there on the group and via various, Jamaat platform, inshallah. On LinkedIn, we are growing our followers. We have 39 followers. On WhatsApp, at least we have up to 2,000 plus readership via WhatsApp when we share articles. And on our website, we keep having growing list of articles published on the website on a yearly basis. So very quickly, we've made some modest achievements, but we intend to continue to work on these and ensure that we publish even more impactful articles and those that are topical and contribute to national discourse. So we've also internally reviewed our activities. We've identified a lot of areas for us to improve. We're looking to now, organize quarterly writing training so that we continue to build capacity. Just like Hafiz Yunus mentioned, we're also looking to engage more broadly in terms of media engagement. We already started some projects in terms of, and we take the advice of Nafa Saab as well as Amir Saab, in terms of journaling, our articles, compiling them together. So we started the work. Some of the things that delayed us is also getting profile of our writers because we want to profile the writers. So we will definitely work on these and make sure we produce a physical copy that can be part of exhibitions when the Jamaat has any program. In fact, Amir Saab, you mentioned something really useful, which we think we will work on. When we had Inspirational African, my humble self is the producer of Inspirational Africans under MTA. And for the first time, I listened to Nafa Saab's story. You will not know the man sitting in front of you is a resilient one. You would enjoy the story. So I figured that even though that story is now published on YouTube page, we have the videos links, maybe one of the things, because we get, for each of our guests on Inspirational Africans, we also get their profile. And like Amir said, we have quiet achievers in this Jamaat. I've seen some profile and I wondered, wow. So we have this kind of people within the Jamaat. And I think maybe MASQ can further, work on this to see that such profiles can be published so that I continue to inspire younger ones to see that we really have great people who can mentor younger ones to continue to achieve great things within the Jamaat. So again, Amir Saab, maybe this is where we will employ you. We need mentorship, and we need a whole lot of our fathers, our uncles to offer some of their time to mentor our younger ones. So we are hoping that there's going to be a platform where we'll be able to connect people, young people who need mentors in different, field of life, including this translation writing skill. I know Missionary Kola is busy, but I'm sure he's going to need to adopt a lot of sons for this translation exercise. Same with Missionary Nafisa. So we need mentorship, and we hope that, and we are already working on global partnership as well. I had mentioned earlier that we are engaged with Al Hakam, and incoming chairman has also recently published an article with Review of Religion. So inshallah, we are making further progress, but taking note all of the guidance that you provided, and the guidance by Mishnah in Charge Sab on Akikatul Wahi and other books. Inshallah, the team will work on it and see that we can publish this in series on a regular basis, inshallah. And just finally, to show the MASQ team, led by my humble self and the rest of the team members who have been very, very helpful in driving the course of MASQ. Jazakumullah khairan, ahsan al-jazaa for all your work. Thank you so much. We just wanted to share a few of the things that we've done so far. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jaza for that very concise reports, annual reports, which has been given. May Almighty Allah bless it and continue to progress the association. So the next is the presentation of awards, certificates, and merchandise. How many certificate awards do you have? 11. 11. Well, let's do it quickly. Is everybody one here? Yeah.
We want to recognize our guest contributors. So we have 2 of them, but they are not here.
Okay.
But we can just mention their name.
Yes, sure.
So 1 male, 1 female.
Okay.
So for the male, the person is Brother Nasir Khalilur Rahman. So
Okay, is that the Murphy in Kogi? Lokoja is okay, all right. Barakallahu lakum. Okay.
And we have Sister Amina Yakub Mohammed.
Okay, mashallah. Mashallah. Barakallahu lakum. That's okay. And the other ones.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's not the Okay, so this is Malim Taslim Sulaiman. He got a gold award for his literary contribution.
Okay, Bismillah. Bismillah. I think should be the other way because it's okay. Barakallah lakum.
Are you taking it?
Mashallah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's taking it from there.
This is for the Silver Award, the January article. So we have two people came second for the Silver Award.
All right.
Brother Abdul
Salam Abdul Rafiq and the brother Ibrahim Sulaiman. Mashallah. Oh no, should be this one. All right. Barakallah lakum. The brother Ibrahim Sulaiman.
I think it's not here.
It's not here. It's all right. Barakallah lakum.
So we have bronze awards.
Okay.
So people have ties in terms of the number of articles published. So this is the first person is Brother Mustafa Dayton. He was our guest lecturer yesterday.
Okay. Well,
so it's not available.
Barakallah lakum.
And we have
missionary Basit to be. Yeah, okay. Inshallah. Barakallahu lakum. All right.
So we also have for poetry. We have article journal, we have poetry.
Okay.
So the gold award goes to Brother Ibrahim Sulaiman.
Okay.
But it's not here.
Barakallahu lakum.
The silver award goes to Brother MASQ Mahmoud Adeyo.
Okay.
It's also not available.
Barakallahu lakum.
Then we have a silver award going to Brother Abdul Qadri Olariwaju.
I think so. Yeah. Barakallahu lakum. All right. Barakallah lakum. Allah bless you.
Finally, sir.
Yes.
We also give award to our honorary members. So for
Okay.
this year, we are awarding Brother Oniyide Abdul Mujib for his
Mashallah.
honorary service to Majlis and Service of the Islamic Column. But it's
Okay.
not physically
All right.
present.
It's okay. Barakallah lakum. All right. Jazakallah khairan. I think that is that.
One final thing, sir.
Okay.
From
The
the head of our
merchandise, right?
we want our MSAP to launch. So this is specifically for the AMIRSAP.
Okay, mashallah. Mashallah. Barakallah.
Put this side.
Mashallah. And you can see the promise Messiah, King of the pen. Mashallah. And Majlis and Sarah Sultan Column, mashallah. Muslim Writers Guild of Nigeria. Barakallahu lakum wa jazakallahu khairan jazak.
We have presented the mission in charge last year.
Yeah.
So we also have for Abasan as well.
Mashallah. In fact, this one we did not even snap for it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, come and take it.
Tasim, come. So let's take
for Napa too.
Yes. Oh yeah.
All right.
Not just now.
Mashallah. Barakallahu lakum. Jazakallahu khairan jazak. Thank you.
We also have for our prof as well.
Yes, prof. You can pass. Oh yeah. Barakallahu lakum. Yeah, barakallahu lakum.
And we also have our respected Shaykh sir.
Mashallah.
We have also presented to our business staff already as well.
Mashallah. Barakallahu lakum and jazakallah khairan jaza to the association and to every member of the association. Yeah. Is that okay, Jama? Yeah, okay. Do we have Al-Hafiz Abdul Rafiq Alaka online? Or has he delegated the person to do the vote of thanks? He's supposed to do the vote of thanks. Is he online? So if not, chairman, who is to do the vote of thanks? Okay. Missionary Taslim.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We give thanks to Almighty Allah,
Alhamdulillah,
who has given us the opportunity to plan this program, and we are able to hold this program successfully. First and foremost, we want to thank our AMIRSAB and the respected AMIRSAB and missionary in charge, and our respected professor, and everybody who have honored our invitation. Without your support, we wouldn't have been able to have this program. And also, I want to thank personally the members of the committee that planned this program, because when this program was planned, I was part of the committee. I had no idea I would be given responsibility by that time. However, we planned the program, and alhamdulillah, we are able to hold the program today. May Allah the Almighty reward every one of us for our effort, silent ones, which men they don't know what it entails. Then also, I want to specially thank the Lajna members that even show extra support by attending physically, despite a lot of reasons that may not make them to attend, but they find all ways to attend this program. May Allah reward you abundantly.
Amen.
And finally, those who joined us from home, some people, they have been with us since yesterday. They have not missed a single session. So, and we are looking at every one of them, and we hope to see more people having interest in this kind of programs, because it's all our responsibility, as mentioned by Anusab, that when it comes to the duty of Tabligh, it is the duty of all Ahmadis, whether you are missionary or not missionary, whether any auxiliary body you belong to, it is our sacred duty as member of this Jama'ah. So I pray that may Allah the Almighty continue to reward every one of us, make us those who are ready to serve Allah the Almighty, those who are ready to put down their time, their honor, their wealth for the sake of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan jazak. So with this, we come to the end, and so I pray that Almighty Allah bless our program of today. Please join me in silent prayers. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Amen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.